Welcome to Let Us Farm. My name is Emily Noel Oge of Let Us Farm. So today we are discussing how many hours should be best in between feeding your catfishes. How many hours should be the best in between feeding your catfishes? So like I always say, please, this is Let Us Farm, and we don't have any group. We don't have Telegram group. We don't have any WhatsApp group. Do not fall a victim of someone asking for you to be added to any of our group. Please, we are not. Everything we do here is we try to bring you practical solutions to solving all your agri problems. If you are having any challenges in your farm, do a 2 to 3 minutes video of this challenge and send to me. When I look at these videos, I'll be able to help you out free of charge. Having said that, I'll be right back to discuss this particular issue, and don't go anywhere. Stick around. Welcome back. So you may have known, or may you have heard, that catfishes they have very slow digestive system. Yes. Catfish is like any other living thing. So they actually eat, they need food for growth, for best results. But then again, they have a very slow digestive system, meaning that their digestion takes more hours than what it's supposed to be. Just like if some of us that may have heard that when a snake swallows something, it goes somewhere to stay and allow the process of digestion to happen, and it takes time. So it is in the fish business, in the catfish world. So catfish is actually, once you feed them very well, sometimes you notice that you feed your catfishes, you see them hanging after feeding. They are hanging because they are digesting the food. Anybody that tells you that is overfeeding, that you're killing your fish, is a lie. Once you see them after eating, they are hanging. It's not overfed, but they are just trying to digest, to break down the feed into molecules. Yes, this is the enzymes and the system in the fish. Let me not go into chemistry and then confuse any other person the more. But this is just the process of the food you have given them to be broken down into the particular enzymes, and the body to absorb this food to give them what you intended for them to get, and then give you the result as growth and development that you see visually in your fish. So it's that process that goes through. That's why you see them. If you fed your fishes very well, especially when they are small age, they will hang. But when they are bigger age, when you feed them, they go down to the pond and relax, and they won't come out. That's why you notice that immediately after feeding your fishes, you go to your pond, you don't see any fish up. Anyone you see up, notice that that one did not eat. So if you drop any food, it will still come back to food to eat. So the issue of how many hours, some people come with stories of, some say 10 hours, 12 hours. Well, it's funny, but let me tell you this. Even as we say that fishes have very slow digestive system, all the fishes in your pond cannot digest their food same time. This is just the truth. Meaning that if I tell you that, okay, fishes digest their food between 6 and 8 hours, what this is simply telling you is that some of them in the pond can actually digest this food between 6 hours and 8 hours, depending on how well fed they are. I just hope you understand this, because the actual truth is that between 6 and 8 hours after feeding, your fishes will digest this feed very well. They may not completely have digested the food, depending on. Now, let me explain this. Some will tell you that, look, if you feed your fishes very well once in a day, they won't eat the second time. It's not actually correct. But what happens is that if you feed your fishes very well, very well, and each of them gets very well fed, and you come the second time to feed them like 5 hours after feeding them the first time, probability that less than 20% will eat is there. Now, if you feed them 6 hours after, probability that maybe about 40% will eat is there. Then if you feed them after 8 hours, probability that 70% will eat is there. But they may not eat as they ate in the morning. Why they don't is that throughout the night, let me give you an example. You fed your fishes by 8 a.m. and then you are rushing. You want to feed them again. No, you fed your fishes by, let's say, 9 a.m. and you are rushing. You want to feed them again by 4 p.m. So when you feed them by 4 p.m., many will not actually eat very well. Now, from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m., that's 12 hours. So it means that they've digested everything in their system. And you did not feed them again by that 12 hours. You now fed them by 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. You see, they are very hungry because the system is empty. Now, you now feed them, you discover that they eat very well that morning. So when you now come again in the afternoon, they don't eat as morning. And in your conclusion, you said, oh, my fishes, they don't eat 2 times a day, they eat once. It's not correct. So if you want to get it right, for some reasons, you feed your fishes around 10 in the morning. It's not a problem. But give them 8 hours. So you come back to feed them around 6. You discover that they are going to eat well, but may not eat as that 10 a.m. Why not, if you want them to eat as 10 a.m., don't feed them by 6, then come and feed them again by 9 p.m. You will see that they are going to eat as much as they ate by 10 a.m. So if you want to give them space to do the feeding, you can give them 8 hours. 8 hours space. Between 6 and 8 hours, they will eat fine. They will eat fine. So the more hours they stay after feeding, the more hours they do eat. But then it's not always good to switch your timing in feeding. I give you an example. If you feed your fishes every day by 8 in the morning and then you come back by 5 p.m. and feed them, they will get used to it. But for some reasons, you now switch this time. If it happens one day, maybe because something held you back and you were not able to meet up feeding by that 5 p.m. and you fed them by 8 p.m., it's fine. But when you now do it that today you feed them by 8 and come and feed them by 5 p.m. normal, and this is your normal time, you are using it, and all of a sudden by 5 you shift to 8, they are now getting used to it, and you shift again to 6 p.m. and again you shift to 10 p.m. When you are doing this, you are changing the cycle that these fishes are getting used to. And what happens is that now they're like, you are now like changing the brain of when they are supposed to get used to waiting for your food, and this may result to some of them cannibalizing on the others because now there is no time. So now they've digested the feed. They are not sure if you are coming in the next 1 hour or 2 hours to feed them. So what happens is that because they are not sure if you are coming out for the second one or not, they start eating each other. This is a fact. So when people tell you that feeding your fishes once a day is the best, is not completely correct. So I have explained now that the reason why you think is the best when you feed your fishes only in the morning is because they take like almost 24 hours for the next feeding, meaning that you have starved them before this another feeding. You think you are doing well for the fishes. No, you are actually starving them, and they will get used to it and start waiting for you. But your result cannot be compared to someone who feeds in the morning and wait for like 6 to 8 hours, giving them the second feed. So they will now take that one for digestion till the next time you come to feed. I don't know if this scenario is very clear, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that between 6 and 8 hours, you can actually feed your fishes. But the longer time you wait to feed them will make them eat longer at your second feeding. But then again, when you want them to eat more at your second feeding, like I said, make it a routine time, not switching time like I explained, 8, 10, you come back 6, it's not good. Then some people ask me, can they feed these fishes 3 times a day based on this number of hours? Of course you can. If you feed in the morning, you wait for like 8 hours, you feed the second time, you can feed the third time in another 6 hours or another 8 hours. 8 is still 24 hours, so you can do that. It depending on your own time. And like I said, if you are doing this, you're going to see results. It's not like if you're doing it, you won't see the result. You will see the result when you measure the weight gain of the fishes that you fed 3 times to someone that feed 2 times and someone that feed once. you'll be able to know exactly who is doing well, who is doing better. But standard, twice feeding, the fishes will eat very fine and give you result. But like, this magic, this not magic, this mathematical. If I'm supposed to stay, let's say I want to stay um 4.5 months to feeding my fishes to get, let's say, to get one dot, like let's say 1.2 kg or 1.5 kg, and I want to compress this, and I'm a full-time catfish farmer, I can decide and divide my 24 hours into 8 hours interval and start feeding my fishes 3 times. So I will now reduce this my 4.5 to that's 4.4.5 months to around 3.5 months and achieve the result. So it's still the same thing. You reduce because the more they eat, what happens is that you reduce your timing to get a particular kg target, and then you get the result. The problem is that most catfish farmers don't even have a target. What they do is that they just put fish in the pond and they are feeding. And like I said, this is not, if you're doing something like that, you will end up not achieving any result. You should always have a clear cut target. Once you're starting a catfish farm, you should always have a clear cut target, that you know what, my target is to raise fishes of this kg within so period of time. Then you work towards that target. But if your target is, oh, I want to raise catfish because others are raising, it will not give you the best of results. If you want to understand this well, search this particular channel for how to start a catfish farm. I have done videos on that, explained it very well. Watch those things and ask me any question on what is still confusing you, and I'll be able to explain. So I hope I've been able to answer this question of what is your best hours difference to feed your catfish. If for some reason and I said things that you don't understand, kindly use the comment section so that I can be able to explain this further. This is a very serious topic and it can take us 24 hours and we will still get where we want to get. So ask me any question, I will be able to explain to you. And then until I come your way next time, I remain yours, Noel Ogem, Elephant Wolf. Let us farm. Keep farming. It's a wolf life. And don't forget, we don't have any group. And please subscribe to our channel, like the channel, and give us a thumbs up.